My neighbor's cameras were all pointed straight at my house. I thought he was a creep until the footage showed he'd been secretly paying my entire mortgage for 2 years. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you've ever had that uneasy feeling that your neighbor is watching you a little too closely, curtains twitching, cameras angled your way, that weird knowing smile when you wave, you know how fast paranoid can feel completely justified. But today's story is one of the most mind-blowing real-life twists I've ever heard. It happened to a guy named Ryan, 41, a regular dad in a quiet subdivision outside Atlanta. Everything here could happen to any family dealing with money stress and nosy neighbors. No ghosts, no stalkers in the Hollywood sense. Just one ordinary man doing something so quietly insane it changes everything. If you've ever wondered who's really behind the anonymous help in your life, this one is going to leave you speechless. Let's get into it. My name is Ryan. My wife Lauren and I bought our house 8 years ago right after our daughter Sophie was born. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, the kind of place where the neighbors wave but don't pry. I worked construction management. Good pay but long hours and lots of travel. Lauren stayed home with Sophie and later our son Jake. We weren't rich, but we were comfortable, until the pandemic hit my industry hard in 2023. Projects dried up, I got laid off for 9 months and we burned through every penny of savings. We almost lost the house. Then out of nowhere, the mortgage payments started getting made on time again. Every single month. The bank said it was anonymous donor. We figured it was Lauren's rich aunt who never picked up the phone. We were too grateful and too scared of jinxing it to ask questions. Then last spring I noticed the new neighbor. His name was Tom. Mid-50s, lived alone in the house directly behind ours. He put up 4 security cameras the week he moved in, and every single one of them was angled over my backyard fence, pointed straight at my back door, my kids' swing set, even my bedroom window if you stood at the right spot. I thought it was creepy as hell. I waved the first time I saw him in his driveway. He just stared, nodded once, and went back inside. No smile, no small talk. I started keeping track. Every morning at 6:45, his cameras would pan slightly when I left for work. Every afternoon when Lauren pulled in with the kids, the red lights would blink like they were zooming in. I installed my own Ring camera on the fence facing his, just to see if he was watching us. Within a day, his cameras adjusted again. It felt personal. I tried being neighborly. Took over a 6-pack one Saturday. He opened the door 2 inches, said, "Thanks, not a drinker," and closed it. Lauren thought I was overreacting. "Maybe he's just security obsessed after a bad divorce," she said. Sophie, who's 9, started calling him cameraman and made up stories that he was a retired spy. I laughed along, but at night I couldn't sleep. I started checking the backyard every evening like a lunatic, looking for footprints, cigarette butts, anything. The paranoia peaked in July. One night I woke up at 3 a.m. to the sound of our back gate clicking. I grabbed the baseball bat I now kept by the bed and crept downstairs. The gate was closed. Nothing moved. But when I checked the Ring footage the next morning, Tom's silhouette was standing at the fence line at exactly 3:07 a.m., just staring at our house for 12 straight minutes before walking back inside. That was it. I printed stills from my camera, marched over and pounded on his door at 7 a.m. on a Sunday. He answered in a robe, calm as ever. I shoved the photos at him. "What the hell is this? You've got every camera you own pointed at my family. If you don't point them somewhere else, I'm calling the cops." He didn't get angry. He didn't deny it. He just looked at me for a long second and said, "Come inside, Ryan. There's something you need to see." I followed him, heart hammering. I'm into his living room. No furniture except a recliner and a giant monitor. On the screen were live feed of my house, but not creepy stuff. The kids playing in the yard, Lauren watering flowers, me grilling burgers. Then he opened a folder on his laptop. Bank statements. Mortgage statements. 2 years' worth. Every single payment on my house, $2,187 a month, had come from an account in his name. He sat down slowly. "I've been paying it since your layoff. I saw the for sale sign in your yard in 2023. I couldn't let you lose it." I couldn't speak. He kept talking, voice quiet. "I recognized you the day I moved in. You don't remember me. I was your crew foreman on that hospital build in 2018. You caught a mistake I made that would have cost the company $180,000. You covered for me instead of ratting me out. Saved my job, my license, everything. I never forgot. When I saw you were about to lose your home, I had the money. Retirement payout came through right then. So I paid it, anonymously. I just wanted to make sure your kids didn't have to move schools or watch their parents fight over money the way mine did. He pointed at the cameras. I pointed them at your place so I could make sure nothing happened. Break-ins, flooding, anything. I wasn't spying. I was watching over you, like you watched over me once. I stood there in his empty living room feeling like the floor had dropped out. This man I'd labeled a creep had quietly kept my family in our home for 2 straight years without ever wanting a thank you. He ate dinner alone every night, never waved back, never asked for anything. He just paid. I asked him why he never said anything. He shrugged. You had your pride. I had mine. Figured if you ever found out, it'd be on your terms. We sat there for over an hour. I cried like an idiot. He made terrible coffee and let me. Then I went home and told Lauren everything. She cried too. We invited Tom over for dinner that weekend. First time he'd been inside anyone's house in years, he admitted. Sophie now calls him Uncle Cameraman, and he laughs. Actually laughs. He still pays the mortgage. We tried to stop him. He won't let us. Says it's the only good thing he's done in a long time. We compromised. He comes over every Sunday for family dinner and we fixed his empty living room together. He's teaching Jake how to build birdhouses in the garage. The craziest part? Those cameras that freaked me out for months? They actually caught a burglar trying to break into 3 houses on our street last month. Tom's footage helped the cops arrest the guy. My creepy neighbor is the reason the whole block is safer. Sometimes the person you're most scared of is the one quietly saving your life from the shadows. If you've ever had a neighbor who seemed off but turned out to be quietly carrying you through the hardest years of your life, or if you've been the one secretly helping someone, drop your story in the comments. I read every single one. And sometimes the real heroes wear no cape and point their cameras the wrong way on purpose. Thanks for sticking with me through this one. If it restored a little faith in people for you, hit that like button, subscribe for more real-life stories that feel too wild to be true, and turn on notifications. Be kind to your neighbors. You never know whose mortgage they might be secretly paying. See you in the next video.